First of all, I want to say, hey, forgive my Swedish today. I'll do my best. First of all, in 1985, I was a foreign exchange student in Jönköping. So at, forgive me please, Södervätterbygdens folkhögskola. That okay? Okay. Okay, could you stand up? So I'm a teacher. I don't have all the research, but I just do what works in my class, and moving students is what I try to do as much as possible. So I took a poll of 68 students in my class, and I asked them how much of their time were they out of their seats during the day. So basically I calculated the percent of time they were in their seats. All right? What percent of time? So in your mind, I want you to think of a number between 0 and 100 of how much time my students in Naperville were in their seats throughout the whole school day. Our school day starts at 7:45 and ends at 3:10. So I want you to think of that number, and then I'm going to have you talk to the person next to you just to verify what you're saying, all right? So go ahead and talk to your partner. No debates. Here we go. If you thought they were sitting for 90% or above, 90% or above, you have to sit down. 90% or above, okay. So isn't this quite interesting? Everybody has to decide here, isn't it? It's different than if you were just sitting here and I was asking you the question. Okay, if you thought below 60%, that they were sitting in their desk lower than 60%, go ahead and sit down. Okay. How about if you thought above 80%? Above 80%. Okay, below 70%. Okay, nice. How about above 75%? Above 75%. See, classroom teachers, you can do this and have complete engagement with your whole class because everybody has to either stand up or sit down. Just on this guess. Okay, let's keep going. If you said below 74 or 75%, you can sit down. If you said 71%, sit down. 72%, you're in. That was it. Nice job. Give yourself a pat on the back. Okay, so 72% of my students, that's how much they were sitting. Remember, we have PE every single day, 50 minutes of PE, and they have lunch, and we have passing periods, which are 6 minutes long. We have 7 of those, so that's 42 minutes just walking in the halls. They're basically sitting all day long in their classrooms, so that's what's happening. We need to get our students up and moving. We don't need to be afraid of them moving around our room. I think we feel as educators we want control of our students, and that's not always the case. We want a little chaos in our room. And you'll see in slides and videos that my room is a little bit chaotic. This is a quote that I really like. We often think of this as education just here, right? It's everything. It's our whole bodies, right? We have to move and learn at the same time. So he has a TED Talk, and Paul has a TED Talk, if you haven't seen that, on PE as well. This terrific stuff from Mike. So that's my Twitter handle. I'm Dave Sladkey. I'm a math teacher, high school math teacher. I'm 4/5 of the time math teacher, and 1/5 I help other teachers with technology. I love bicycling. I have 3 grown children, and so that's just a little bit about me. But I wanted to show you just a little bit more about me in an activity, all right? This is an activity you can also do in your class, as with most of what I do in this time. This is answering multiple choice questions, all right? So if you, I think it's A. Okay. So if you would be an A, or answering the question A, you're going to do a jumping jack, okay? If you're going to be a B, you're going to walk in place. C is a chicken flap, okay? And D is walk like an Egyptian, okay? I know you can't walk too far. Do you do that in Sweden? Okay, good. Walk like an Egyptian, okay? So those are your 4. So instead of just asking a multiple choice question to your students, they actually have to answer the question by doing one of these things, okay? So here's the question I have for you. It's just trying to get to know me. These are 4 things I really love about Sweden. Innebandy, cantarell, mushrooms, that I hear, you don't tell anybody else where the cantarell mushrooms are, right? So I have this place where I don't remember the city, but no, I don't really know too much about that. Bilar candy, and then Rud Stugas. Did I do okay? Rud Stugas, right? Okay. Yeah, so which one do you think I'm at? So you're going to decide for yourself, right? Okay. Guess what? If you think I'm in a bondi, you're going to do this. Okay. Cantarell mushrooms, walk in place. Bilar, you're going to do chicken flap. And Red Stugas, walk like an Egyptian. All right, stand up. Go ahead. Oh, yeah. I need to take a video of this. I got to take a video. I'll post that video. Okay. So, it was Unabandi. All right. I love all those, really. And cantarell mushrooms, I had never had that before. I'm gluten-free as well. I'm a celiac, and so I had that on a piece of cracker, and just oh man, so good. And the red stugas are just classic Sweden. I just love it. But Unabandi, I just love that sport. Got me through in 1985. Just every night we'd be playing Unabandi. It was such a great game, and so that's just a little bit about me. But you see how that could work, right? In your classroom, just ask a multiple choice question and ask them to move. And what's cool about this also is that if a student is not sure of their answer, this one, you could say any answer. But if it was a correct one or not, the students could look around and see what everybody else is doing. And if everybody else is doing this, okay, I'm going to do this too. So, okay. Would you just chat with the people around you? When do you like to take a break? All right, go ahead and chat with the person around you. Okay. So there, I'm sure, is a lot of answers. In my class, I often do this kind of thing. I ask them to talk with somebody else to have process time, and then we share out. For me, I like to take a break, and I like to have it about a couple minutes long. Just a couple things about a brain break that I like to do in my classroom is this. This is in the book actually too. It's just some of the reasons, and I'll give you a copy of this presentation so you could use any of the slides that I have here. So feel free to do that. But it just gets you up and moving. I am a person that's I'll be moving a lot. I need to move. When I take a break are often the times when I have my best thoughts. They engage both sides of your brain. Okay, you kind of use one more than the other if you're just sitting. And then through that midline, your efficiency will rise. Activating your brain helps positive attitude, as Paul gave us such a great message on. Stress reliever, tension goes down. Sometimes you have to step back before you go forward. Okay, so sometimes you have to do that. And enjoy the moment. Sometimes you really have to just take a break and enjoy. We're in this journey. Okay, here's our first video. This is a couple of my students answering the question, why do you like brain breaks?
So what do you guys think of brain breaks? Like, do you get something out of them?
Yeah, I think that it's beneficial for the students because it's like when you're working for a long time, just sitting down, it helps to be able to get up and move around.
Great, thank you. Anybody else? Jody.
Well, for me, I look forward to them in this class because when we're like working on something, I don't know, math is just kind of math for me. So like we'll start to like, you'll say get up and take a brain break. Like I'll have fun with it because if I have a good partner, like not saying anyone's bad or anything, but if I have a good partner, then like we'll have fun with it. We'll laugh at each other if someone messes up, and I think it's really fun.
Awesome. Thank you. Anybody else?
So they were not prompted on that, actually. I have some guests that come into my room quite often, as Martin did. And what students I'll just let them say, and some students don't like brain breaks. Okay, it's just the way it is. But most like it and feel the importance of it. So I'm going to flip a coin, okay, and it'll say, I'll look and it'll have Carl Gustav on one side, right? And I don't know what's on the other side here. But you got heads or tails, all right? And what we're going to do is we're going to narrow everybody down to just about two people just by this simple activity, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'll have you stand up in just a second, and then you'll either do this with as if you think it's going to be heads on the coin, Carl Gustav, or if you think it's going to be the other side, you're going to put your hands down here. Okay? Do you understand? Okay, great. Stand up. Okay. So, go ahead and do either heads or tails. Oh, this is so fun. Okay, here we go. Okay, got Carl Gustav. If you did heads, stay standing. If you did tails, sit down. Okay, you can change your mind now. You could either do heads or tails. You got to decide. Do heads or tails. Oh, we got a lot of heads this time. We'll see. Okay, it is tails. Okay, sit down if... All right, we have quite a few. All right, Heads or tails again, ready? Decide. Tails again. Okay, sit down. We need to get down to about 4. Okay, heads or tails? Tails. Oh, okay. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we'll do heads or tails. See, you can see how you could do this in your class, right? Just get kids involved. Okay, tails again. Okay, 2. It's perfect. Come on up. All right. Here's the book, first of all. You can put that to the side. You're going to be busy. All right, so we are going to do the handshake. And this is what I do with my students. Nice to meet you. Tuck, tuck. All right. That's beautiful. Where did you can put that down. Wait. My new friend left. Okay, so you two are going to do a brain break together. So face each other. Okay. What's your name? Magnus. Magnus. Okay, Magnus. Sam. Okay, excellent. So you will be doing this together, and what you're going to do is first, I want you to tap your right elbows together. Nice. Okay, they did good. Okay, tap your left elbows together. Good. Okay, we call this a side 5. So they're going to do this, and then they're going to do a fist bump. Ooh, this is good. Okay, left hand and fist bump. Beautiful. Okay, now bump right shoulders together. High school students get pretty crazy with that. Okay, and left shoulders together. Okay, good. Now this is the most tricky. You guys ready? Okay, one of you is right over left, and one of you is left over right. We'll see if they do well. Okay, now hold and bring it around. Uh-oh. Okay, wait. Oh, look. Okay. So how about you go your right hand over your left. Good. And you do your left. Yeah, okay. So you go the other way. Okay. Wait. Okay, so you're going the left hand over the right. Yeah. So you go over here. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. See, here we go. Now bring it around. See? Okay, good. Now double fist bump. Oh, beautiful. Okay, we're going to do it a little faster. Ready? Right elbow, left elbow. Okay, low side 5 fist bump. Low side 5 fist bump. Good. Right shoulder. Good, they got it. Left shoulder. Up. Bring it around. Oh, that's okay. You guys will get. Okay, and then double fist bump is to finish. Okay, nice job. Thank you. So you need to find a partner, and I'll walk you right through it the first time, and then the second and third time you're going to do it on your own, all right? So find a partner. Everybody's got a partner, please. Ready? Right elbow, left elbow. Low side 5, fist bump. Low side 5, fist bump. Right shoulder, left shoulder. Make a X, bring it around. Double fist bump. Okay, it was really cool. I think I might do that as a new brain break, that little twist thing. That was really fun. Sam, you guys did great. Okay, so you see just what happened just now. Everybody got settled back in. This is what happens in a brain break. You know, you get moving in the class for just a couple minutes. Your attention gets changed, all right, and you get to think about something else and move and kind of released a little bit. So I think that's some important things that happen with brain breaks. I shadowed a student 2 different times. There's Neil. That was a couple years ago, 2012. This is Kyle. I actually coached Kyle as a freshman in soccer or football. And now he's in my class this year. He's a senior. So yes, last year is when I shadowed him. I have a blog teaching high school math, and those are 2 posts for my blog. Okay, so what am I talking about? I'm talking about walking with your student in the whole day. All right? Every single thing, except for, going to the bathroom or stuff like that. But I walk through the day with them. I ate lunch with them. I walked through the halls, and I felt like I was in prison. I really did. I felt trapped. I was hungry the whole day. I thought about food all day long. And it was amazing. These chairs, you could see, we have chairs that are fixed so you can't move in them. Do you know what I mean? They're like, they have a bar that's stuck to the desk so you can't move. I was just trapped in the back. And as a teacher, I can move around as much as I want, and I forget. This helped remind me of what my students go through. I would, as an administrator, as a teacher, go through the day with one of your students. Your student will love it. This was a riot with them. I had other students saying, oh, I wish my teacher did that. I wish they knew what I go through every class period. So I hope and challenge you to do that, to actually go with your students one day. And, or you could read about it, certainly with what I did, but it's better if you do it because it will make it much more meaningful for you. Okay, a huge activity in my classroom is called stations. And stations, a typical worksheet. Teachers that do worksheets. What do you do with the worksheet? You give your worksheet to your students, and what do? They sit down, and they do it, right? That's a worksheet. We all did it. But let's split the worksheet up into parts. I mean, it's just as easy as cutting the worksheet into sections and taping them to different parts of the room. Right? And then when you put them in different parts of the room, you ask students to get in pairs or in threes, and then you have them go together, do the problem at the station. Go together, do the problem in the station. Go together. Okay, so let's think of the brain benefits. Have you ever lost something and you think, what did I do? And you kind of go back and think, where did I put this? This is the same thing, is you kind of think back, where were you? Okay, you put this in a corner and they're thinking, okay, I did this problem in this corner. Okay, as a teacher I say, do you remember the difficult problem that was in this spot of the room? Their memory of that problem is right there because they were actually there. They were moving. Okay, so and kids, you'll see in this next video, if you want to run it, how kids are moving around and doing these problems. So we have a stand-up desk. There's the triangle desk that we were talking about. Some students are walking around. There's a room that we have. It's called the breakout room. They're doing a problem there. There, see the worksheet? I just divided it up. I think we need to change our worksheet rules in school to just be always, they are moving around. Because this gets them up and moving, and it actually also differentiates the learning, because as your group moves from one location to the next, then if they're ready to move, they move. All right? So sometimes we as teachers do a worksheet straight through. Well, not everybody's ready to go straight through. They need more time on this problem. So they actually can take the time to do that. Okay, let's do the ear and nose switch. Always when you take a brain break, you need to stand up. Okay, so let's stand up. Don't judge anybody around you if they don't do it correctly, all right? This is a big thing. All right, take your right hand. Grab your left ear. Okay, now when I say grab, okay, that means take, two fingers or your thumb and finger and grab, right? Okay, this is important. Now, take your left hand and touch your nose. Okay, we're all good. Touching does not mean grabbing. Just touch. Okay, so now what we do is we uncross, so I'll do this, okay? And now we need to, with our right hand, touch and grab our left ear. Okay, how did that go? Are you touching your nose or are you grabbing your nose? I see some grabbers. Be careful. Okay, undo. Okay, the faster you go, the more dangerous it is. Don't grab. Oh boy, we have lots of grabbers. Faster. Okay, good job. Nice job. Give yourself a round of applause. So some brain breaks take longer than others, but I've been doing brain breaks a long time, and it's something that is part of your culture of your class. It's getting the culture to realize that it's important for breaks, and it's giving them the understanding that breaks are needed thing and that they're valuable, that it's not a waste of time. Do I have students that don't do a brain break? I have had students that don't like to participate. For one reason or another, sometimes they're sick. They don't like to, if we had that activity before with somebody else, they don't like to touch hands. That's understandable. I always have them stand up and stretch, though, when we all do a brain break, if they're adamant that they don't like brain breaks. Okay, here's another activity I do in my class, and it's called Vote by Standing. And you're going to vote with your feet this time. You're not just going to be sitting down. You're going to be moving to different spots of the auditorium. You're going to actually move from your spot here and move away. So be ready. Here's how this works. You can always change your mind in this activity because we're not just saying you figured it out and then you're set. But if you change your mind, you can always walk to a different place. Okay, so here's what I like to do to start this activity. I actually like to put people in every corner of the room. Here's what it would look like. So you'd put your question up, and then corner one, you can see we'll have corner one right down here. Corner 2 is right here. Corner 3 is way up there. And corner 4 is right there. So I like to have people move to those corners, and then I'm going to ask the question. Can you tell what's going to happen then? You're going to move again. Follow? Okay, so again, I'm going to have you move to one of these 4 corners. Let's try to make them equal corners. Okay, go ahead, move to those corners. So here's the question. Who was the greatest Swedish female athlete? Okay, before you move, I want you to think about the question. All right, you look at your choices. You know them much better than me. All right, go ahead and move when you're ready. Magdalena's down here. Lisa's up there. Carolina's up there. Anja, it's right here. Whoa. As you're moving in your classroom, you're giving students a choice of what they could pick. Is there a wrong answer here? Yeah, these people say, well, anybody that... but there is no wrong answer. It's a choice, right? But you're creating engagement they've identified. Now, here's what's cool. We can't really do it here in this activity because it's so big, but we would have in my classroom, we'd have, okay, why did you think that? 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 And then, okay, you have a chance to move again because of the arguments. And you give students a voice and choice and power by them moving. All right, so it looks like Carolina is the majority of you. So great job. Have a seat. Thanks. Okay, so you can tell that this activity could be used in any classroom. It's not just math. I ask a lot of math questions, of course, in this type of situation. They have to choose. But you could ask this in PE to have them move to different corners and change and argue. And it's just a terrific way to get buy-in from your students. Okay, this is Gotcha. This is one of my favorite brain breaks. Students absolutely love it. If I give students a choice for brain breaks, they often choose this one. We're going to watch the video. I do have videos for all the brain breaks in the book, and I'll give you the code for that in a few minutes, but let's watch this one. All right, this is Gotcha. This is a group activity, and I appreciate everybody. This is on page 44 of the book. All right, so I'm going to have everybody introduce themselves. You are?
Corbin,
Great.
Sean, Nick, Caroline, Anna, Ashley.
Thanks, guys, for helping out. Okay, put your left hand
You see the guy
out
in
with
the
your
corner
palm
there?
up. Okay, now put your right hand, pointy finger in their hand. Okay, and when I say that special word, gotcha. Nice. They are actually trying to get away with one hand and try to grab the other hand. Okay, let's try again. And your right hand to point.
You can see we're going to do that same thing. So you can get into any group. You could even be
Ready?
just with a partner. You could be with a group of 3 or 4. It doesn't matter how many are in there. So please stand up, and when I say that special word, right hand pointy, left hand open. Remember, you're trying to get away. You're actually touching their palm. Are you doing that? Oh, I see one. Somebody right up here has their hand cupped like this. They're ready to grab. We can't do that. Okay, you ready? Gotcha. Oh. Okay. Right over left. Right hand is pointy, left hand is open. Right hand over left, right hand is pointy. I know we have some trouble in this group right here. Right hand, yeah. See? Look at this. It's okay. I love it. You guys are awesome. Gotcha. All right, have a seat, everybody. This works well in your class because kids have fun. Once they get to know it, they can anticipate what's going on. You'll see. You have their absolute attention when you have that little quiet right before, and then you say gotcha. It's just amazing. But it's super fun. And the group dynamics are cool because you could just have 2 people or 3 or 4 or 10 or however many you want. That's gotcha. Just a little bit of history with energizing brain breaks. Gene Blades came to Naperville Central and did a workshop kind of like this where we're just doing some moving activities. She is terrific, and she generously shows and gives out her material as well. And it got our department, my colleagues in the math department, hooked on brain breaks. And so much that we were sharing ideas because, I certainly have the book of brain breaks, but more than that, it's you and your colleague talking together. How could we get students to move for just a couple minutes? And I have the blog. There's lots of videos at the blog. Feel free to go there and use any that you want. All right, so please take advantage. The way I use videos, or have seen teachers use videos, is that they show the video to their students sometimes beforehand, and then, like we just did gotcha, and then the students do it. Or sometimes this teacher just watches the video to see how it's done before the class, and then they actually do the video. Some brain breaks are easiest if you have an example. Two people showing the example. You can have fun together. Magnus and Sam did it well together, and that's the kind of thing. It's you have them kind of modeling for you. So that's some energizing brain breaks. Do you have blue tape in Sweden? We call it painter's tape. Is it the same? Sometimes it's green? Oh, yellow. Oh, okay. I like yellow. That's kind of cool. We use blue tape a lot in our classes because it comes up so easily. We used to use masking tape, but masking tape kind of stays on the floor and it creates problems for you and your maintenance staff, cleaning that stuff up. And so we've gone to blue tape. Blue tape has been really nice. Certainly for math classes, this is kind of cool because we do the coordinate system. And what I do is have each student or pair of students put blue tape in front of them, and then they're all actually moving that amount. So, if you had the coordinate 2, 4, you go over 2 and up 4, just to move in that direction. And we do lots of things with reflection over an axis and all of that stuff that's so important in mathematics. But you can use that blue tape really, really easily. Here's a couple examples of blue tape. I did some sine waves in the hallway. They were designing the hallway tiles so that they look like sine waves. And so there's that. You can see the game up in the corner. You ever seen this? Little whiteboard on the glass? You all have windows possibly, well, I hope. Just have them right on the glass. And was my translation okay there? No? Oh no, shoot. Ignore that part right there. Right, forget that, sorry. But you write on the window with your whiteboard marker, and then you just wipe it off, and it's perfect. And the kids love it. They get a view of the outside and get to yearn to be outside too. So this has opened up more space in my room. I have 2 walls of whiteboard. Now I have glass on a couple of the other walls, so I can have students writing there as well. Okay. Other move and learn activities we could use. Have you seen the post? Oh no, I got no more Swedish here. Was this okay? No, man. I should have had some. Yeah, I have some trouble. Okay, big Post-it notes. You know what Post-it notes are? The sticky things at the top, right? But they're big. They're like this big, and students can do their work and post them. And almost like a whiteboard. So that's a really good move and learn activity. So I think I advanced it. Yeah. So, and you can spread those out all over the room, have them do it in different locations, then present. That's a really good move and learn activity. Okay, when you as a teacher pass out a paper, let's just imagine that for a second. What happens? Well, you take the paper and you pass it to this student, or maybe at the front of the room, right? You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3. Right? Who's moving? I am, the teacher. What do we want to happen? We want our students to move. So you should have your students pass out the worksheet themselves. And here's a video of one of my students. This is how I always pass out worksheets.
Yep. Oh, wow, nicely done. That was awesome. Go grab a piece of paper.
Isn't that awesome? That was so cool too because I videotaped that one and it was the best one of the whole year. Usually it's like volunteer my students randomly. I just have two or popsicle sticks with names on them for my class. So just a piece of wood with their name on it, and then I select them, call their name. They walk up to the front with their partner. I always have students come with their partner up to the front so that they're not as embarrassed. And sometimes a student will freeze up at the front, and I say, you could talk to your partner while they're talking to the rest. So they come to the front, they can talk. Partners are helpful in giving confidence and easing fear in the classroom. I think this is Martin's favorite. We should have Martin on show on this one. He says he has trouble with this one, but this is called different direction circles. All right? And so what I want you to do is stand up and take your right hand and put that out. And I want you to make a forward circle about the size of a basketball. Okay? Okay, now wait. Let's do your left hand and go backwards the other direction. Okay, you got it? Oh, look, they're already doing it two hands. Okay, now do it together. Don't hit the person next to you. Martin, are you going to do it? Okay, hold up. Now, they're trying to master it. Okay, let's see it, Martin. Are you doing it?
I'm doing it with the Lord. Like this.
Terrific. Nice job. Good work. Okay, hang on. Now we're going to go, your right hand is really small, and your left hand is really, really big. It actually works a little easier this way, doesn't it? Why is that? Or now go the other way. Left hand is really, really small, and right hand is really big. Ooh, that one's harder. Good job. We need to encourage our students to take breaks on their own. So this is a kind of a brain break that you can do with your hands like this as well. Your thumb, so you just tell your students in the middle of a test, okay, just do this brain break like this. One thumb is forward and one thumb is backward. And, it helps them think about something else for just a second to move and concentrate on something else, and then they go back to their test or quiz. I like this desk. This is also a stand-up desk. It's circular. Look at how they are working there together. The beauty of this desk is there's a lever underneath the desk that it adjusts up and down. So you can be sitting down or you can be standing up. So goes down, goes up. Some other classroom atmosphere things you can see this girl right here is reading while she's doing, just kind of doing some core exercises. They're also reading on the other side. They're on some balance things, or the ball. Look, I like this one right there. Look at her face. She's grimacing like she's trying to balance. So those are huge. Here's another, just while they're reading, they're kind of leaning up against something, but they're balancing at the same time. This is so easy. Also, if you look at the desk on the other side, to the yellow one, you can see that they can swing at the same time. Okay, this is, you guys are saying, oh man, another brain break already? Here we go. This is twisted. This is really quick. It'll last just as long as you need it to in your class once you stand up. Put your hands out in front of you, clap and miss, thumbs down, hands together, roll your hands inward. Paul did this with us. And then roll your elbows. Roll your shoulders. Roll your elbows. Woo! Okay, so now go right over left with your feet. Okay, I have my students close their eyes. Us older people have a hard time with that, but if you want to try, feel free. Just be careful not to fall down. You can close your eyes and roll your neck clockwise. I know. Whoa. Okay, switch your legs and put your left over your right. Okay, you can close your eyes if you want. Roll your neck the other way. Okay, out loud, I want you to now spell your first name backwards. Go. Okay, and now say your last name backwards. Nice job. Have a seat. Okay, this is I'll just briefly go over this activity. This is importance order. I like this because it gives, again, power to the students. It gives choice to the students. You can put about anything you want on here as far as importance. And you can put them on big wall Post-it notes or just pieces of paper taped to the front. You could actually have your students have separate sheets of paper for this activity as well. And you are asking them to put it in a certain order of importance, highest importance to lowest importance. And then you actually have them to share out or go to the board and adjust what's on the board. Let me show you what I'm going to ask you to think about. This would be, an example of you'd ask a health class or a PE class, what are the most important things? What's the most important? And put them in order from highest importance to lowest. I want you to just chat with somebody around you for that right now. So go ahead. Which goes first? Which goes last? Okay, I know this activity would be extensive, of course, but I'm just curious. Let's see. My go-to guy is Sam. Okay, Sam, what did you say for highest importance? Healthy breakfast. Okay, good. How many people said healthy breakfast? Raise your hand. Oh, wow, that's good. Good. Yeah, I think if you poll your students, are you going back to the class tomorrow? Poll your students tomorrow. Ask them, did you eat breakfast and what did you eat? Just really curious for yourselves what your students eat, and have you talked about the importance of that? Okay, good. So what does this bring out if you have this in your class? It brings out the discussion. Why did you think hydrated? You really did think that? And you'd probably talk about why you thought it was hydrated. Somebody would talk about the breakfast and all the things that are needed to come out about this. Or you could have me just lecture about these 5 things, right? Which is better? The choice where the students buy into what they believe is best. All right? So that's importance order. I'm not going to talk about this too much, but this is an engagement wheel. I wrote a book about student engagement. This is where you kind of see where your students are engaged, if they're engaged or not, by checking to see what they're involved in. Are they actually moving in class? Are they laughing out loud in class? Are they involved with technology? Are they teaching each other? So this is the engagement wheel. A lot of times at the end of my activities, I have some reflection time, and that's what's going on here. What I'd like you just to think about for maybe 30 seconds and then chat with somebody around you is this question. We have 3 reflections, but I'm just going to do, I think, this first one. So go ahead and talk to the person near you about which one of the activities we've talked about today impacted you the most and why. Go. I always wish that to bring home one thing that you would start in even tomorrow if you're a teacher or if you're an administrator or a politician. What would you hope to change right now? Because that's what this conference is about. What would we change? The most important thing, and hope that with Paul or I or Mateus or whatever happens today, that you'll bring home something to improve your teaching tomorrow. So, okay, finish with this brain break. This is, if you kind of stand up. It's fun to imagine it. If you kind of close your eyes sometimes through this, you kind of imagine the rain happening. So let's do a circular. A little more vigorous. Isn't that cool? You can imagine the rain happening. Okay, let's start snapping. Okay, your thighs. You ready to do some thunder jumps? Ready? Let's go. Oh, nice. Ready? Let's go. Nice. One more. Nice. Good job. Okay, it's getting lighter. It's getting lighter. Okay, now let's to nothing. Nice. Good job. As I said, this is the slides. Feel free to use as you wish. And there's the guided notes for today as well. Thank you very much.